read, sense and reference. Isn't that great? I don't know what it means, but it's fantastic.
They really think that what they're talking about is out there somewhere in the world.
That's marvellous. Okay, what I want to do quickly in this next 20 minutes is I want to set you up in groups so that you're ready to do the assignment and talk a little bit about the assignment. Hopefully the assignment's becoming a little bit clearer, the idea of what we're getting you to do by the middle of next month. We want you to choose a question to look at, and there are lots of them. The examples we've given, you don't have to use these, you can think of your own, but on Patricia McCorduck's book, Machines Who Think, it's a great book, by the way. It's 25 years old, but it's a classic text on this kind of idea. She has an FAQ with a whole set of machines. How long has the human race dreamed about thinking machines? What's the difference between the tall tales and the ones she answers in this book? What does it mean that machines are smarter than we are? And so she gives these little snippets of answers, a paragraph, and these can be your starting points for your discussion. Now, what we're obviously interested in, and we're trying to say here, is we want you to interrogate the question, the language, the question, to think about what we're asking here, what this actually means, and to break it down a little bit more. We're trying to think about this not in the traditional ways you probably worked as students before, particularly my students. You know, I'm hoping that you'll start to think about this in a bit of a new way. And what we want you to do is bring in the concepts from the readings, from the class, obviously reference them, this is academic writing, these sort of concepts in attacking some of these questions. There's also a transhumanist FAQ, which is has a whole set of questions, and they're nicely broken up into general, what is transhumanism kind of questions. Practicalities, how could I become post-human? It's a question we practically ask ourselves all the time, of course. How can I use transhumanism in my own life? I do like that, it's so kind of every day, isn't it? Social and politics, why do transhumanists advocate eugenics is an interesting one, I don't think anyone would be brave enough to tackle that one. But is there any ethical standard in transhumanism? What kind of society would a post-human live in? And this particular FAQ has larger answers, but again, these are starting points for your exploration and reading of this. We discussed that what we're actually asking you to do is to work on these small teams, and at the start of the project, identify specific questions or topics that the team will be discussing, and then, as we've said, ask about the question, phrasing, different ways of asking the question, and are some of those more productive than others. And we've got kind of general questions which you should ask about along with that questions about consciousness, the body, mechanical, technological versus non-technological. We're very interested in you referencing media, literature, the novel you're all reading, Galatea 2.2, or any of the other science fiction movies and questions, bringing these kind of concepts in here and referencing as well. One student I was talking to, who's perhaps not here today, and we were talking about this and what we wanted to do, and he came up and we said last week, we want you to write together, but we don't want one essay, we want to see different voices in some form of conversation or opposition or ideas and concepts. We want to see clearly how you have worked together on this, and you can do this, and we were saying be creative in any way, and he came up with the really obvious way to do it, which is of course to use a wiki. And I've put this on the website, and basically I've put this link on the website, the WikiHow, and there are just lots of links on here. you go to the website and you just create your, there are wikis that give you 100 megabytes free, you know. You just go on to any of these, and obviously you can then all have your own voice on wikis. You can split it up into different areas you may talk about or think. It's a nice way to do it, but it's up to you how you do it, okay? Any questions or comments on that before we start breaking you down into teams, which is going to be the difficult part? Now, I did talk about the idea of, I was going to decide the teams randomly and split them up, but when I thought about that, I thought, no, that's not a good thing to do. What I want to do, and I'm not against you working with people you know on this, so that's possible. You can form groups among people you know. However, we want teams of 3 or 4 people, and this is the key part. The 3 or 4 of you must have different backgrounds. Okay? So you can't have 3 information scientists. You can't have 3 English majors. Okay? Now, I don't mind how we do this, but you must have a different background to each other. Does that sound fair? Yeah? Look at you, you're like, oh, I can't work with my friend. Okay, so, how do you want to do this? I'm happy to, I can randomly grab people, or we can go round and we can all say what our background is and we can put you in kind of groups.
I like that.
You like that?
I prefer that.
Hmm?
I prefer that.
Well, to choose your own?
Yeah.
But how do you know what backgrounds other people have?
Do you want to say backgrounds and have us raise our hands? That's quick.
I don't know if it's that easy.
Vaguely. I mean, some of you, I know, have multiple backgrounds. So you have, you know, Carly's got cognitive science and graphic design, so, you know, you can...
How many of you are here as English majors or majors in like the humanities or the social sciences? Why don't you guys stand up?
I can't pass it.
Why don't you just stand up and say with the folks who are computer science? So, social science, information science.
He's computer science. All those with computer science, information science backgrounds, put your hands up. Yeah, fine. So, now, you guys make obvious partners with one of the other, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Right, yeah. So what you might do is mill about and see if you have any shared interests or questions.
And then we have the graphic design people. How many? History. Oh, do you have history?
Art history.
Art history. Wow. Oh, okay. Richard as well. No, I'm just saying. Psychology. We have Aaron. Anyone else psychology? We have one psychology. You're on your own, Aaron. And cog science.
You can join any team.
Hmm?
You can join any or every team.
You can join any team because you're psychology. You're the only one. So can I suggest you guys get